Good morning, guys. Hey, guys, my name is Nicola Dickens. This is Free Mike here. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. I'm an angel. My pillow says so. And always remember your dreams. Those are very important to me. Well, the dreams part's very important to me. Excuse me a moment while I share this feed out to the world. I will be right back with you. What a morning. I hope everybody is having a great morning. It has been beautiful out here today. It is not really hot. It's a little muggy, but not bad. It could definitely be worse, I think. Give me just a moment. It takes a minute to share this out to the world. I am sorry. I know that it sucks to sit here and watch me on my phone. I have gotten all of those comments. But because I do this all by myself, the only way for me to really do this is to sit and share it. So I do apologize. I know it sucks. I know it's not cool to do this, but I am hurrying, I promise. Oh, my picture had my glasses on in it. Oh, well. It happens. Okay. We are back. Live chat. How is everybody today? We are smoking or reviewing Dragonberry from Nirvana Center. As you guys know, I went ahead and pulled out their shirts because I love them so much. They're so soft, so cute. I love the design on them. These, however, are the old designs. So Nirvana has new shirts now that actually have color in them, you know, not just in the logo. And today, so we have Dragonberry from Lotus, which would be Nirvana Center's middle tier shatter, I guess is what you want to call it. So this shatter runs for about $20 a gram, which isn't bad. It looks beautiful, has a great smell to it, tastes great. See how nice and lovely that stuff is? Beautiful, beautiful. They also put it in the see-through foils, I guess you would call these. So that is pretty cool. So again, today I am wearing an outfit from oh my god, from Shein.com. Sorry. The shorts, they're kind of a little weird. These ones actually have pockets, which are kind of nice. But everything runs a little bit small, so I added a couple tank tops with this to kind of give it a little bit more of a look to it. It is very comfortable. These are all shorts and stuff that I can wear after surgery, and that is why they sent them to me. So I tried everything on. These are probably the tightest fitting ones that I have, but they are comfortable, and I do like it. I do like them. They are very comfortable. I love their app. I'm like scrolling through that app all the time. So guys, check them out. Shein.com. They have styles for everyone. They have smalls. They have larges. I mean, they have styles for everybody, and they're very inexpensive, which is amazing. So let's go ahead and heat up this banger, and let's test out this shatter here. Please tell me I have enough fuel. So how is everybody's day going? I hope it is a beautiful day for you guys. We are having some cloudy weather, which I always love. Love, love, love that cloudy weather. So guys, I have been doing quite a bit of research recently on medical marijuana in the workplace. So I have run into an employer that has a very ill view on medical marijuana. Doesn't want it in their place, which I understand. I get that. When you go to work, you're not supposed to be medicating, so it shouldn't be on premises at all unless you do what I do and then you have a place to do it. But with this particular company, they don't want medical cannabis in their company at all, regardless of whether or not you're a legal marijuana patient. So we've been talking to a few lawyers, kind of seeing where the laws lie, and I want to make sure that you guys are very, very clear when it comes to the law. If you have a medical marijuana card, in the state of Arizona. The Medical Marijuana Act that has been passed saves your butt. Basically, which means they can test you and you cannot refuse a drug test. However, they cannot use any THC that they find in your system unless you are a pilot, you have a CDL, you are a train driver, or if you are in the medical profession. Those four positions are exempt from the medical marijuana laws. Now, the reasons for this with the medical industry is only if you are prescribing medications. You cannot be on any mind-altering substance, and that's what it comes down to. It is the same with driving. Any driving position, you cannot be on any mind-altering substances. So that's what it comes down to. But if you have a medical marijuana card in the state of Arizona, your employer has no rights now to fire you. None whatsoever. They cannot fire you. It is discrimination. I want you guys to remember that. I want you to understand that. I want you guys to know that I am here and I am going to help you uphold that. I have attorneys, several of them that do work on this type of thing, and if you are ever in the need of that help, please email me or message me. I will send you that information. But please note, if you are not a medical marijuana patient and you are caught with THC in your system at your work, it is automatic grounds for termination. It doesn't matter who you are or what you are. It is automatic grounds for termination. Make sure you have your card. That is what is going to protect you as a medical marijuana patient. That card is gold for you if you are a working medical marijuana patient. I just want to make sure that's clear for everybody out there. Good morning, Ken Grant. How are you? Yes, Dr. Pepper Love, you know it. So let's heat up this banger one more time because I did get off on a little bit of a tangent. This is research I think everybody could use and that everybody needs. Simply because if we don't share this information, discrimination runs in many, many different forms. And I would hate to see you discriminated against because you're medicating with medical cannabis. And that's why I try to bring these up in my shows, is to kind of help you guys understand what those laws are. So we're going to be doing Willy Wonka. How are you doing, my love? Yes, it is high time. You know it, baby. What a beautiful day it is here. I see a little bit of sun peeking through the clouds, but I mean, I'm not sweating. It's not bad. It's a great, great day. I am just in a great mood. I am actually going to be doing a couple of videos today. I am going to be pre-recording a couple so that way if I miss a recording on something, I can post it for you guys because I've been feeling really, really bad about that. I feel horrible. I lost concentrate. Oh, there it is. I'm like, I lost the concentrate. That's never good. So I just want to make sure that you guys are as protected as possible. I want to make sure if there's something that I know that can benefit you guys know it too. Because if there's a reason why I want to know it, there's probably a pretty good reason that you're going to want to know it as well. So, as always, guys, you know something today? Let's fuck discrimination. I am so sick of it. I am sick of discrimination on every level. It doesn't matter what color you are. It doesn't matter what language you speak. It doesn't matter what your religion is. It doesn't matter what anything is. We are all human and we all need to help one another and keep it that way. We need to be members of the human race, and that's how it works. Fuck depression, or fuck discrimination, guys. Oh, it's so good, so good. Hello, Anthony, scaredy cat. That's cute. It is going really, really well. We are happily medicating today. We are enjoying the peaceful atmosphere that the Mother Earth is giving us. Especially here in Arizona because it gets bloody ass hot here in Arizona. Whoa, I'm dropping stuff. It's going to land on my Tootsie. So how is everybody? I love seeing you guys. I love seeing the new faces. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below to join the Wheaties family here on YouTube. So let's go ahead and talk about this strain. I'm sitting on a pillow. Okay, so we are working with Dragonberry from the Nirvana Center here at 75th Avenue and McDowell in Phoenix. We have this beautiful, I think this is a mid-grade shelf cannabis concentrate. This runs about $20 a gram. It comes in these cute little pouches. And I will be giving another review on a type of this concentrate, only it's going to be the Lotus tomorrow. So you'll see the packaging is very, very similar, but it is different. So Dragonberry it descends from cherry bomb and turbo diesel. It has about a 19 to a 20% THC level. This is Nirvana Center's mid-level shelf, so it does run about $20 a gram, which isn't too bad. With each fresh inhale brings lifted feelings of happiness and focus, as well as a building sense of creativity and energy. The high will leave you alert and motivated, aware of everything around you, and easily tackling any mental or physical task that comes your way. The effects are energizing, focused, happy, and uplifted, medicinally to treat chronic pain, depression, stress, and fatigue. This is a 70-30 sativa hybrid, which I absolutely adore. Phew. So it has a really, really great citrusy, sweet taste to it. We are going to heat this finger up one more time, test it out one more time, because you know how I am. We got to see it all. Yeah, fuck racism. I'll tell you what, it's just, there is so much of it that goes around, and I've seen so much of it on YouTube, and some of it is just blatant, stupid racism. And I'm like, that's just, no, it's not acceptable. We are all equal. It does not matter who we are. We are equal. We are all people. We are all members of the human race, guys. And nobody is better than anybody else. It doesn't matter what your education level is. It doesn't matter what you've done in your lifetime. It doesn't matter how many celebrities you know, or if you don't know any. It doesn't matter. What matters is your journey. And every one of our journeys are so individual and so interesting when we find the right words to say it in. So that's kind of why, we do stuff like this and we talk about it on this channel. The discrimination factor against cannabis right now is horrible. I don't know how many of you guys have seen some of the discrimination against medical marijuana patients. I mean, they are so quick to judge us. Oh, you're a drug addict. Oh, you're just going to get high. Oh, da-da-da. Oh, da-da-da. But they don't actually see the rest of the stuff that's down below. They don't see, I get questions all the time, or I get comments all the time. You don't have cancer. You look too good to have cancer. There's no way you have cancer. You still have hair. How do you have cancer? People react differently to so many different things. And my last traditional dose of traditional IV chemo was in 2004. So the rest of the types of chemo that you can do with the suppositories, the direct injections, there's the pill form. There are so many other different forms that you can take that you don't lose your hair, or you don't lose all of your hair. You only lose part of it. It happens in so many different ways. So it's really hard to make that judgment call on somebody that you don't know. You don't know where their journey has brought them. You don't know. Hey, they could be a disabled veteran and they're using cannabis to help with that PTSD that they're going through. And all of a sudden you get these judgments and you're like, dude, I've seen more in your lifetime than you'll believe, than you could imagine. And that's true. Those things are out there. We have to remember that when we start judging other people, we're judging from what we see on the outside and what they're portraying. We aren't actually seeing, especially on social media, we aren't seeing their real lives. We're not seeing all of their real lives. And I'm going to be 100% honest with you. Even those vloggers out there that you see a lot of their life, you're only seeing what they want you to see. You're not seeing that behind the scenes stuff that's going on. You're not seeing where I'm throwing up in the toilet every morning and crying because it hurts so bad. Those are things people don't see because we make that go away for you guys, because that's not interesting. That's not fun. Nobody wants to watch that. Well, I mean, if somebody does want to watch that, those are people we don't want to be friends with, but that's how it works. That's what we're all looking at. And so when it comes to medicinal cannabis, it is a very discriminatory act to tell that cannabis patient at your place of business, if they are a legal marijuana cannabis patient and they are able to prove it with that card, you are now crossing a very, very hard line to cross back over. And that is because discrimination is a very, very, very serious term. When somebody says that, a colored person was discriminated against, everybody wants to get involved. Everybody gets involved in all of these things. When somebody hears that, illegal aliens and their kids were separated from each other and not left together, the public now gets involved. And now you're getting a public opinion in here. So by taking and removing medical marijuana patients because only because they medicate at home, it's not a good enough reason anymore. And so I want to make that really, really clear with all of my patients, and especially in Arizona, that don't have their cards. You are not protected by that law if something were to happen. So I'm going to encourage you and beg you to please get your card. That way nothing happens to you. I don't want to see you get fired, and worse, I don't want to see you go to jail for something like this. Most states are decriminalizing medical marijuana, which is amazing. Arizona is one that is working on that, but don't test that boundary, because it's scary. It sucks. So please, don't test the boundary on either side. As the employer, once you find out your employee is a medical cannabis patient, I want you to think of something, and I want you to think very hard of something, and that is, how long has this employee worked here? If that employee has worked there for several years and they've never had an issue, trying to fight the Medical Marijuana Act with that particular patient is not a good idea. Not a good idea. And the reason why I'm laughing and saying that is because in the state of Arizona, the medical cannabis patient is protected. We are protected by HIPAA laws. We are protected by the Medical Marijuana Act. We are protected by these things. So please, please, I love a fight. Don't get me wrong, especially one that I know I'm going to win. So if you're a medical marijuana patient, you're probably sitting in the same boat as we are, going, yeah, let's fight, because you're not going to win. And that is how it works. So just want to let you know, then you will get nailed. As an employer, you are now looking at a discrimination case. And that sucks as an employer. I know most of you already know this. But yes, when it comes to discrimination in the workplace, that is something that is not taken lightly anymore, because it has happened so much. So those are my words of wisdom for today. So yeah, it's interesting at how many times I've actually heard this comment, and everybody's being afraid to go get their medical marijuana card, because once they get that medical marijuana card, they're afraid that that information is public record. It is not. Just so you know, that your patient information is not public record. That is personal, Tigger. That is personal. So, and it would violate a HIPAA law. So just so you know, as an employer, that is not public knowledge, or as a patient, it is not public knowledge. If you are drug tested and you have your legal marijuana card, you are legally protected in the state of Arizona. So I just want to make sure that that is really, really clear. Get your card. It would save a lot. If you do not have your card and you are experiencing higher anxiety when you smoke, it is proven, oddly enough, that the reason why this happens is because in the back of your head, your subconscious is freaking out because it's illegal and you don't have a card. Once you get that card in hand, you're going to find out that medicating is completely different than medicating without a card. I hear some people say that they get a better high when they medicate without the card because they're doing something wrong. It's, the thrill of getting caught. And then I have other people that say that they were able to relax and really enjoy the high and the euphoria when they had their card. So I recommend getting your card. I can tell you a lot of anxiety dropped with me when I got my card because now it wasn't a legal issue. I knew I was protected. So just so you guys know, I want to make sure that you guys are clear that the Medical Marijuana Act does protect you as a patient. And it will only protect the employer if they are, if you are a driver of some sort, pilot, trained driver, or CDL, or if you work in, as a dispensing of medication in the medical industry. Those two are, completely off limits. However, it does protect the patient otherwise. So let's do this again. So yeah, I like to go over things as I learned them. For two reasons. It helps me retain the information a little bit better. Plus, it's easier for you guys because now I've filtered through all of the crap to get to what you really want to know. And let me tell you, you have to read the entire Marijuana Act. And then I ended up with a House Bill 2541 sent at me, and I'm sitting here going, it's a fucking bill. A bill isn't law. A bill never made it to law. Throw that away. So, it's a lot of things that you have to know, but mostly stuff that you're going to learn through civics. I will help educate you here. So, as I find that I need to know the answers, I'm finding more people need to know the answers as well. So, I'm kind of sharing it on my social media now. And I encourage you guys, if there's something that we haven't covered on this show, but you think should be, that you've always been interested in as far as medical cannabis, write it down in the comments below, and we will get to that. That is something that is, a big part of what we do today. One of my next shows I am currently preparing for, and it's going to take me a little while because it is a lot of learning, and that is talking about carcinogens, the carcinogen levels, where those go, what happens with all of those, if Arizona is going to adopt any type of testing law, and talk about whether or not the federal government is looking into which states and their laws as far as when legal medical marijuana does pass. Because they are saying that it's looking like 2020 is going to be the year for the federal passing of medical marijuana. I always say I won't believe it till I see it because you never know. Politicians like to tell us shit and then change their mind. So you never know if they're going to stick to it or not. So let's do this. So, there is one other thing I would like to point out in this whole Medical Marijuana Act. I had heard a story a while back that the grocery store, Fry's, says that medical marijuana is not accepted in their place of employment. So they never went and got their card. Nothing ever happened. They never, as far as I know, no drug test or anything. They were always in good shape. But they were afraid to get their card because of what they said in that management. I am here to tell you here and now that read the Medical Marijuana Act. Read it for yourself. Look at that law a little bit closer because that is also discrimination. Fries. So I want to make sure that is clear. If you are randomly drug tested and you test positive for cannabis and you do not have a medical marijuana card, they have every right in the world to fire you. However, if they try to fire you when you have your medical marijuana card, that is a discrimination suit and you can take that to the state of Arizona. So I just want to make sure that that's clear. just because that is one example that I do know of, that I have heard of in the past, and that I think should be further explored. So we are going to delve a little bit more into, not everyone won't acknowledge the fact that racism and greed created this country. Oh no, absolutely did. Absolutely did. You know, this country was founded on the fact that we didn't want to follow the rules that Europe or that England had put out for us. We didn't want to follow those rules. That's why we came over here. And yes, we came over here because of greed and everything else. And this whole country is absolutely created on greed. Those people that have it don't want to let it go to the people that don't have it. You never see the middle class moving up very far, and you hardly ever see the lower class moving into the middle class. That's an issue. That is a serious issue in my belief. I don't care what color, what race, what religion, what creed, what sexual orientation you are in any of those, you know, because you have them in all of those levels of poverty, I guess. And yes, it's absolutely founded on greed. It is. And oh my God, yeah, you're absolutely correct. When my brother went over and fought in the war, his wife had gone over the year before him. She had gotten back. They had gotten to spend a month together, and then he was deployed. Well, she ended up getting pregnant during that month, which was pretty amazing. And he got to be able to fly back when the baby was born. And one of the biggest things that he was just looking around, it was fuming. He was pissed off about. He was like, what the fuck are we over there fighting for when the gas prices look like this, when people are still, what the hell are we doing? Why are we doing this? And that pissed him off. He didn't find that it was appropriate for the people to have lost their lives that they did over bullshit that they lost it. And I absolutely agree with him 110%. And he still went back, he still finished his tour, but he started to question a lot more. So as always, fuck discrimination. We're going to keep this on a discrimination day. And then when the banks did what they did, and he ended up losing money. And then the banks ended up getting bailed out, but he didn't. And it pissed him off. And I don't blame him for getting pissed off about all of that. I don't. What he was getting pissed off about was right. But he still knew that he had a job to do, and he still had orders to follow, and he still had to do what he had to do to finish his tour. But I absolutely agree with you guys when it comes to this. You guys have fought long and hard to keep this country the way that it is. And the government comes in and bails out the banks and bails out all of these other things, but they're not helping our veterans the way that they need to. They're not supporting our people the way that they need to. These bankers didn't need to get a fucking bonus. Nothing personal. But we have veterans, we have many veterans that are homeless, that need a one-bedroom apartment to live in, that money could have helped with. There are so many things that this government is forgetting that it is broken about. The cannabis community, if it can go legal in 2020, there are so many things that can help. It can help with some of our homeless vets. It can help put our homeless vets to work. There are so many things that it can put metal detectors in our schools. It can help with mental health screenings and help and actual help, mental health help, so we can stop with all of these shootings like in El Paso and in Ohio. This is getting ridiculous. How many people that need to die before they go, wait, we need to bring our people home and deal with what's going on in this country right now. Because there's a lot going on in this country. My heart goes out to El Paso and to Ohio. That crap is crazy. It doesn't need to be going on. And I will tell you that I have been in criminology and sociology for so many years that I have done a lot of research on a lot of these people that have ended up shooting, in these mass shootings. And I'll tell you what, every one of them have one common factor, and that's big pharma. But they're getting upset with us potheads. Really? No, I don't think so. Annie, hi Annie, how are you? Sorry, did I miss something? I don't have cancer yet. Well, I hope you never get it. I really do. You can always use Rick Simpson oil as a preventative and eat it on a monthly basis, and that would help as a preventative. So there are other things that you can do to prevent cancer. And sitting there focusing on whether or not you're going to get cancer is never a good thing. That's going to end up putting your worry. You're going to end up stressing out over it. It's going to end up causing other illnesses. That is never a good thing. Just make sure that you're drinking plenty of water, eating right, plenty of exercise, not overdoing it. There's a lot of things that you can do. Cannabis does not cause cancer, ever. The carcinogens in it may, depending on if you're dabbing like what we're doing. But cannabis to this point has not been proven to cause cancer. It has actually been proven to prevent it or to help it or to help cure it, but it has not been proven to cause it. So just so we all get that one. Willy Wonka says color doesn't matter. We all bleed red and we are all the same race, human. Absolutely right. I agree with you. I've said those exact same words. We all bleed red. And those colors, sorry, they don't run. That is how it works. You do bleed red. We bleed red. If there is somebody out there that doesn't bleed red, I want to see this, because I think it'd be cool as hell. But yeah, we are the Misfit family here on YouTube. So I want all the misfits. I want the people that want to enjoy their life, that is done with the bullshit, that's done with the drama, that's done with all the crap. I don't want to talk about the drama on this channel. I am not a drama channel. So I am an education channel. That's why we go over all of this wonderful stuff. And right now I'm teaching you guys how to keep your employer honest, because that is an issue. I don't know how many employers are out there that don't like cannabis. And, guys, I'm sorry you don't like cannabis. I really am. I have worked for a company in my past that was against cannabis. I ended up quitting because of cannabis. Oh, my camera's falling over. Hold on. Because of cannabis. Cannabis is not the devil. It is not the root of all evil. You'll find that most of the time, people that are using cannabis, they're not getting in trouble. They're not doing anything wrong. They're gardening at their home. They're freaking coloring. They're eating. I draw. I sing music. I do all kinds of stuff, but I do it in my house. I'm not out creating havoc. That is not what cannabis is about. So that's what we're here to show, is what cannabis is really about, and it is not all of that shit. So I love cannabis, we diversity. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. I subscribe to a whole bunch of freaking different YouTube channels, and Facebook pages and Facebook groups, because there are so many places that have so much good information, and We Diversity is definitely one of them. Abso-freaking-lutely. I love them. Oh my God. All Bud, I love them too. I have learned so much from All Bud. They know they got their shit going on. They know their shit. Cannabis for Veterans. I've never heard of them. I will have to check them out. Are they on YouTube? I like that one. Like that one. I ended up hooking my brother up with a veteran organization. They do a little bit with cannabis. My brother doesn't. I'm kind of hoping he'll get into it at some point in time. He can't right now because he has a CDL. But but he's got bad PTSD. He's called me in the middle of the night and told me stories that I don't know how he lived through. Is the best I could say. And I will ask him and see if I can share any of his stories. They are his stories, so it's not my place to tell unless I have permission. But there are, I don't know. I don't know how mentally he survived through all of that. War it fucks you up. And then my brother was a Green Beret on top of that with the Army, which is he was a sniper. So he wasn't in the middle of it, but he saw a lot, and he was a part of a lot. One story that I can tell you that he did tell me about, that he did tell me was okay to share, was his day of reckoning story. Sorry, stupid wind. His day of reckoning story, and he told me this story when he got back from when his son was born. Sorry, and basically they were defending a cemetery in Iraq, and they were in the cemetery, and in order to get to the mortuary that was just outside of the cemetery, you had to go through 3 checkpoints. Well, I guess this truck had driven through the first 2 checkpoints and refused to stop. And the mortuary was right before the 3rd checkpoint. So it was before the cemetery and before the 3rd checkpoint, and it was right there. So this guy comes speeding through the 2 checkpoints and goes into and takes this lady or this person into the mortuary. Well, they have to find out what's going on. So my brother was one of them that had to go down to the mortuary and find out what was going on. Well, by the time they had gotten to the mortuary, at least 20 minutes had passed. And they had performed a C-section on the woman that had passed away. Well, her baby had died too. Well, they don't believe in burying the 2 together. They believe in delivering and then burying, which is not what we believe here. We would bury the 2 together. But he walked in right as they were delivering the baby from C-section, and the baby was gone. And at that moment, my brother thought of his wife, who was at that time very pregnant, and it fucked him up. It fucked him up bad. He started to question at that point of what the world was coming to. A poor pregnant woman and her baby died. He didn't know how, but he knew that it had happened, and he knew that he had a pregnant wife at home, and it had put him in a really bad place. My brother was then able to come home, and this is a really great story, so I'm going to share it with you because it's a whole lot better. My brother then came home, and I got to pick him up from the airport. Me and my oldest son, Trey. And we were waiting at the gates, and it's a security gate. And you see the people, they walk back, they come alongside the metal detector of people entering that part of the airport. It's where regular people aren't allowed to be. So I see him come past the metal detectors, and the first thing I thought is, that's my little brother. That's my little brother. So I started running. I ran through security. Thank God my little brother had his uniform on, because I jumped, I grabbed him, I was bawling. My 2-year-old little son is running behind me. I actually think he was older than that. I think he was like 5 or 6. Is running behind me because that's his uncle. That's the uncle. They were both born on the same day, different years, same day. But I'm like running, and I jump, and I grab him, and I hug him, and I'm like, my brother, and oh my God, I turn around. My brother's like, sis, turn around. Sis, turn around. I'm like, what? And there's all these guns drawn, because you're not supposed to do what I did. Well, they're putting the guns away. People start clapping. And I'm bawling my eyes out because I see my little brother, and it's just one of those things that I'm like, oh. But yeah, I've had a gun drawn on me more times in my life than I care to tell you. But I will say, you want another funny story about a gun being drawn? There was one night, it was after my divorce. I had to spend the night at my mom's house for some reason, and I was sleeping on the couch. And my mom was in this really little apartment. So it had like the living room in the front, and it had the kitchen in the middle, and the bathroom and the master bedroom in the back. So it was like this line. I was asleep on the couch in the front part of this wine, I guess, and she was in the master bed. Well, I'm sleeping away. It's like 6 o'clock in the friggin' morning. I had gone out drinking the night before, so I'm like passed the fuck out on the couch, passed out. And my mom, I guess she hears something. She doesn't hear me walk through the door at 2 o'clock in the morning, stumbling drunk, but she hears something. She pulls her gun out. She comes walking into the kitchen, not paying attention, accidentally hits the gun on something, shoots the kitchen floor. I fall to the fucking ground of the living room screaming, no! And it's only me! And my mom, I'm sorry, it was an accident. I'm like, am I hit? Have I been hit? She's like, no, I shot the kitchen floor. It was an accident. I'm like, oh my God, lady, I'm so gonna kill you right now. But yeah, I didn't smoke weed then. I drank, and I was like, fuck. I'm like, holy shit, I think I peed myself. You know, I never slept at my mother's house again after that, not once. I was too afraid she was actually going to shoot me the second time if I did. But it was an accident. She thought she had heard something, and she had hit her arm, or hit the gun on the doorway or on the china hutch or something, and she shot the kitchen floor. We were never able to find the bullet, but where she shot the kitchen floor was right next to the china hutch, and you could see where it hit the linoleum, but we have no idea where the bullet ended up. Yeah, we're hitting another dab, you know it. On Facebook? Cool. I'll check them out on Facebook. I like that idea. Yeah, we're hitting another dab, you know it. And then we'll be out of here for the day. I'm going to try to do a pre-recorded one just to see if it works. I got to test out my camera. Watch it won't work. It'll all be messed up. Who knows? I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try a couple things. I'm also going to be working on my editing skills a little bit because I know they suck. Oh, sweet. Thank you. Thank you, Ken. You're awesome for sending me a link. You're awesome. So we're going to hit this dab again. This is some good stuff. It's gotten me talking. It got, I was at a pain level of about 9 when I woke up. My nausea level was kind of up there. I'm happy it's not too hot out here. So it is really, really nice. Okay, so fuck cancer, fuck racism, fuck discrimination, fuck all of that. Let's just all smoke and get along. Oh, so good, so good, so good. Puff, puff, fast. You know it. You know it, my friend. Here we go. Oh, that one was a hot and hurtful, let me tell you. Woo. Woo. Okay, I can breathe, I think. That one actually made me cough. This one again hits you right here in the throat. Burns. What the hell are they doing over there? Phew. So once the burn starts to go away, you'll start feeling the head fade a little bit. It's the only way I can really describe it. It's not really a euphoria, it's more of a fade. It's very relaxing. Oddly enough, this part of my jaw is actually kind of numb. It happens sometimes with different strains or different concentrates. But I do have some teeth down here that do get to hurting at times. They're painful at times. So that is actually kind of helping on that. Still can't really breathe though. When you do those hot and hurtfuls, it kind of knocks the wind out of you and you gotta catch your breath. So I'm trying to catch my breath. Whew. Kind of faded and relaxed. That was kind of a big hit. And I have noticed that sometimes with larger hits of sativas, you can get a little bit of that euphoria going on, a little bit of that couch lock. I can tell sometimes when I start really getting into one specific niche on YouTube, and I'm watching every fucking video I can find on that niche. So I'll tell you what, I've been watching Jacqueline Glenn lately. I don't know why. She comes up with a lot of really good points, and I like that in a channel. So I've been watching a lot of that. So, but she doesn't smoke pot. I do watch a few channels, and I can't think of them right off the top of my head that are pot smoking channels, but I will start shouting them out just because you guys do come, you visit, you are so kind to me. So I'll start shouting you out like Willy Wonka 420 and all of those fun ones. I don't know why my brain just went totally freaking blank and I can't think of anybody. So I think that is it for today. I am obviously faded enough to where I need to shut the hell up. So I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Mwah! As always, mad love, and I will see you guys back tomorrow. Bye.